Hey everybody, this is I'm Dave Hilbish, and want to welcome you to just give me some time, a rock solid youth ministry podcast. I'm the youth pastor at Stones Hill, and tonight is brought to you by our executive producer Matt Gaff and producer Gavin Gaff. Joining me this evening is my co-host Brooke Lindsay. It's great, as you know. This is with this Raptor Youth, and it's good to see you again. Brooke?
Yeah, so excited to be back, and I just want to introduce everyone that we have tonight here with us. So we have Jordan Younce, one of our volunteers for the youth, and then we have Alyssa and Allie, two of our middle school girls. So we're excited to have you guys.
Hey, what is going on, guys?
I have a quick dad joke for you guys. I just want to throw out. I'm a dad, so I make jokes, you know. You know how we... Do you know how I have to always think about it, but to tell it right, otherwise it goes really wrong. So you know how when the birds that fly over the sea we call seagulls. What would you call why do we if they would flew over the bay, what would we call them?
Baybirds.
No.
Bagels.
Bagels. Get it?
I'm not even a dad yet, but I'm still getting it.
Oh man. You're a quick study there,
Starting
Jordan.
young.
It's going to be great, yeah. If you guys notice, if you're on video, you see a bunch of shaving cream on me. We had one of the activities tonight. Alyssa over there said that she couldn't look at me without laughing. Or one of the students took vengeance upon me, and he came after me with all his might. So we got that to think about. It's great to have everybody here tonight. It's been a fun night. Here at Rock Solid. Jordan, tell us a little bit about why you are a Rock Solid volunteer.
Yeah, absolutely, Dave. I absolutely love working with youth. That's my passion of mine ever since I got out of college and stuff. Love working with young individuals. And I tell you what, it's so much fun to come and incorporate two of the biggest things. I love working with youth, and I love Jesus. So it's a lot of fun to come out every week, be involved with them, and just help them along their own journey.
Yeah, you're a great mix here for sure with you. I really appreciate everything you're bringing to the table. We're continuing with our Manners Matter series. As we learn about what we believe in the Bible, we find out that manners give us tools to live out our faith effectively in word and deed. So whether we be at school or down the road, how to work effectively, or just behave effectively with our relationships with one another. We've talked about introduction manners, and I realize that we're not introducing just our name, but our whole life to somebody and the way we live out our life. And are we showing them Jesus as we live out our life? Dating manners, how to talk effectively to the opposite gender and understand what that is all about. Think about purity manners, pursuing purity, not just with our sexual habits, but with what we think about others, but the way we talk, the way we live our life. And tonight we were talking about money matters. Jordan, how are you especially equipped to give a message on money and financial habits?
Yeah, so I actually deal with money on a daily basis, and not just personally, but in the world that I work in. So I work at a bank, so I deal with business loans, I deal with farm loans, so I see money, I see debt on a daily basis, and I see it used for good, and I see it used for bad. And that's mostly what we wanted to talk about tonight, is kind of just going to the Bible, looking at biblical references for what is money, how is it used. It's such a huge topic, and it's something that's super important for youth to know.
That's good. Why are money matters so important at the age of adolescence?
Yeah, absolutely. So tonight, it's mostly a message that was directed towards those older kids with the high school individuals, but at the same time, it's just as important for the middle school kids. I mean, money is such a key thing in life, and just as we talked about them tonight, it can be used as a tool for good, a tool for blessing, or it can be a tool of destruction. And I'm not even talking just destruction in their personal lives, but destruction in the biblical sense and what they can give and what they can do with their faith. And so we talked through that tonight, which was a lot of fun. And why is it so important for youth? Well, I tell you what, and I think you'll agree with me, Dave, if you can start off right, it saves you a lot in the long run. And if you don't have to dig yourself out of a hole with money later on in life, I know that if they can take in some of these principles, that it will really help them, not only for themselves in their personal life, but also to be better able to bless and tithe and do things that we're called to in Scripture.
So good. Yeah, it's amazing. At this stage in life, starting off good habits, the good habits lead to other good habits at other developmental stages in life.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, I think Brooke had a question too for me. So, Brooke, what was the question you had?
Brooke?
Yeah, so
Wink,
I'm
wink.
I'm kind of curious now that you mentioned how it was aimed towards like the high school age. So we have two middle schoolers here. So what do you think's like the most important thing for them to take away from this at such a young age?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. And I think it just starts where we started the message tonight. And it's just that simple thought of, hey, money can be a tool for good, money can be a tool for evil. So sometimes we get it stuck in our minds, and I know that quote from that scripture from Timothy that we took in tonight, that sometimes we misquote it and we say, well, money is just evil. And it's definitely not money itself that's evil. It's the love and the mindset that can become evil if it's not used in the proper way. So I think knowing that distinction, Brooke, would be the biggest thing to take away is, okay, we have money, but it can be good and it can be bad. So just knowing that it's a tool for both sides of that.
What would you say, like, to a youth, that has a job for the first time and his or her job for the first time, and they were working themselves into the ground. Have you guys had a job yet, Miss Alyssa or Allie?
I ain't old
You guys,
enough.
you ain't old enough. Yeah, yeah. What would you like to do? What would you like for a first job? Well,
I don't
babysitting.
know.
Babysitting? You ever do babysitting?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, Allie.
I'll
Okay.
work at McDonald's.
Okay. All right.
Good
That's
start.
good. That's good.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. As a teacher? Yeah. You like that? Brooke, what was your first job? You're a
Um,
senior, so you've had.
Yeah, I've had a couple job experiences. I think my first job was babysitting.
Was it?
So, yeah.
Sitting on babies. That's crazy that they pay you that.
When you
for
like
that.
suffocate them, like
Yeah, that's not.
like that,
that's
right?
not good.
No.
Yeah, don't want to do that. Yeah, that's always interesting to me, that term. What was your second job?
Well, right now I'm working for my dad's business, so
Yes.
that's fun. But yeah, it's kind of cool to see like the backside of that too, like with the finances there and running a business. Like that's been very insightful and just how they manage the business money and then into like a personal.
So what would you say, how'd you deal with that when you heard about tithing for the first time? It's like, I've been working, like a dog with for my first paycheck, and I'm supposed to give it away, part of it away now, What was that thought that came across your mind?
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting you ask because we talked about that in our small group. I kind of brought it up that like when I thought of tithing, I always thought of like older people.
Oh, sure.
Like, I mean, that's just kind of what I think.
And when
of
you
it
talk
as,
about older
like-
people, what age are you exactly
Well, I
talking?
just like always remember my parents. My parents would
She's
be like
talking about
writing a
us.
check and like I'm like, I mean, I always like knew what tithing was, but I never really thought about like me like
Yeah.
tithing.
So
Like
good.
I'm making like money now, and so yeah, I was kind of just asking about that to our group leader.
Yeah, I'll kind of hop in here too,
Yep.
Dave, real quick. We talked about it in our small group a lot too with the high school boys, and I kind of brought it up as something that, to be honest, if you can start it at a young age like that, when you don't have much money, it just starts to become second nature, and all of a sudden, when you do get out there and have a real world, it's pretty easy because you had already been doing it. And I kind of talked to them that I kind of view it as something where it's like, hey, it is hard to budget like 10% out of what you make, but if you start to think of it as, well, I don't have that money anyway, that's God's money, it can change the mindset and outlook of that pretty easily.
Maybe something we could do down the road is have different opportunities to give through Rock Solid, maybe. Like during part of the night, actually have like maybe offering that we can maybe, sometimes it helps to know what you're giving money towards.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about missions down the road, and maybe helping an orphanage out down in Bolivia that wool heaters are working at, something like that maybe. I don't know. Maybe, I guess I'm all open to some ideas. It might help with that whole idea, establishing that habit of tithing and giving our first fruits away. Although
Well, and
hard.
just hearing that word at a young age, because I know,
Yeah.
like even tonight when I asked that question of how many people knew what tithing is, a lot of people in there did not. So
Yeah.
just kind of becoming aware and have that in the back of your mind at a young age, I think is crucial as far as moving forward and as you start to do make money, to have that thought in your mind.
That's good.
Yeah, even starting small. I remember like as a little kid, bringing in like change for offering
Yeah,
to
yeah.
church. So like
Emptying
I
out
think
in the offering thing.
and it was
Just
so
like it sounds like
exciting
an
to
avalanche.
do it. So
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be good.
Yeah, I don't know. There was this kid that had this story about his dad telling him what you do is you flip the bottom of the offering plate to make it sound like you're putting a quarter in there or something, and I just thought that was funny. But any other thoughts from you guys as we close up our second podcast, guys? It was pretty exciting. And then to our listeners and viewers, maybe challenge you guys to check out the links to some new videos. We put a new video out tonight, just some activities we've been doing lately, and then also this is our second podcast, so check out the one before where we interview Brooke and talk about what it's like to come in from a different school system to be involved here at Rock Solid, but also how to lead, what it's like to lead a worship team, student worship team, and some other things that she's a part of. So I'm excited that you're joining us tonight, Jordan, as well.
Yeah,
Allie
thanks
and
for having me
Alyssa.
on.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys as well. Hope to see you back sometime. Do you ladies have anything else you'd like to share?
I mean, Jordan more talked like about how like you can dig yourself like in a big hole and it's gonna take a while to get out of it. And then that's what Kristen said in our small group too. And no one really had anything to say about it because I mean like we're all shy, right? But
Okay, but yet you're speaking to millions of people. No, I'm kidding.
don't say
I'm
that.
kidding. Maybe one day.
One day.
Yeah. But yeah, that's good. And you probably see other people digging that hole out there, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And how unhealthy it can be for a family too. And sometimes it just feels like we have to do that because everybody else is in debt. So it's something that's acceptable to our society often, I feel like. But we're called to live so much different, countercultural as believers often. And it's a tough thing to do when everybody else is doing it. So, okay, just want to go ahead and wrap up and challenge everybody to check out Instagram and Facebook and some of the calendar events that are happening. We have Sidewalk Prophets that is coming to town. I guess actually North Webster, not too far away from here. And we're actually looking at maybe splitting off and taking a group to Sidewalk Prophets. If you ever never heard of them before, our last video we put out tonight actually has Sidewalk Prophets as the background music. And then we also are doing a spring break blast coming up where we're serving our area community, but then also joining with other youth groups and going to play paintball and eating pizza afterwards. So just that information might be changing down the road, so stay in tune for that. And also, we just released the latest video pertaining to SOS, Summer of Service, up in Mishawaka that we'll be participating in June. So excited about that. So until next week, keep chasing Jesus any way you know how with every day that we're given. See you guys. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you.